Hi, today we're going to talk about a problem that's been around forever. And with the increased interest in camping, this problem has gotten worse. So we thought today would be a good time to talk about leave no trace.
So it's been reported that 9 out of 10 people who visit the outdoors aren't fully aware of their impact on the environment. I'd like to thank you very much. By watching this video, you're making a difference to be that maybe 1 out of 10 that's really going to be the catalyst for change. Hi, I'm John and this is Holly. We are Let's Go Now Adventures. We make YouTube videos about all things camping. You know, whether you're a tent camper or an RV camper, our videos hopefully will help you have a better camping experience.
So if you've been watching the news lately, there are actually stories saying that there are national forests that are threatening to shut down because of all the garbage. There are also signs posted at campgrounds saying, hey, we're going to close this campground if we can't get a handle on this situation. So let me share a story that kind of sets the tone for our topic today. And this happened many years ago. John and I have been camping our whole lives, but we were camping with a large group of people. And granted, maybe some of these people hadn't been camping before, or weren't, necessarily campers, so they didn't know the ins and outs and do's and don'ts. But while we were camping that week, people would throw their cans into the campfire. And John told them, hey guys, cans don't burn. They don't just burn and go away. It's not like that. And so he had to actually gently remind them again throughout the week, you guys, remember, cans don't burn. So anyway, many years later now, to this day, I'm still amazed that we arrive at campsites and there are cans in the fire pit. And still, believe it or not, to this day, cans still don't burn.
They don't burn. So leaving garbage behind and all that clutter being left by campers is not just a problem for dispersed camping, it also affects campgrounds. Camp hosts are there and hopefully in a perfect world are there to recommend a good hike or tell you which bait to use in the lake. They might even be, there to recommend and tell you what kind of wildlife you might see in the area. But right now, with the problem being as it is, they're spending all of their time in a custodial aspect, meaning that they're picking up after all the campers doing nothing but cleanup.
And oh my gosh, speaking of garbage, we have found some really funny things at campsites before. This one campsite had shirts, shoes, and underwear. And I bet there's a funny story to go along with that one. But we found paper products and old broken down lawn chairs. We actually found a site with brand new lawn chairs, but I think they actually just forgot to take them. And that's why we have this practice is before we actually pull out of our campsite, one of us gets out, walks around the entire campsite just to make sure we haven't left anything and also to make sure that we leave the campsite better than when we found it.
And the sad part is it's not just garbage that's being left behind. Human waste is also a problem. There are parts of here in Utah where on BLM land you can camp, a permit is required in order to camp on that land. And part of the process of getting the permit to camp there is you've got to be able to demonstrate that you've got a system and the equipment that's needed to take out all human waste.
Right. And along with human waste, pet waste, bring your little doggy bags, pick up after a pet. A couple campsites ago that we arrived at, I spent the first 15 minutes picking up someone else's dog poop so that we could have an enjoyable experience.
Leave no trace is more than just not picking up your garbage and taking your garbage with you. Leave no trace actually means leave no evidence that you were there. Now, unlike the people who carved these initials into the tree, I'm thinking that these initials in this tree will be here many, many years longer than the actual relationship of the person who carved the initials. So what can you do?
So I think a good place to start is be prepared and have a plan. Bring your garbage bags and your pet waste bags. I think one of the biggest problems to leave no trace is that people aren't thinking ahead, and when they go to leave, they don't have anything to put their trash in, so they're just leaving it. You have to remember that everything that you bring into the campsite, you need to bring back out. And what's even better is bring out more than you brought in.
So when you're camping, especially in a dispersed camping situation, make sure that you're driving and camping on a durable surface. What that means is that you're not creating new roads by driving across vegetation. You're not setting up camp in a place where no one has camped before. When you go out and you're selecting your campsite, try to find some place that's been camped on before rather than creating a brand new one.
Another thing you can do is respect the wildlife. You know, we're in their territory. You know, we're their guests. Don't leave your campsite a mess, because that invites all types of critters into your campsite. And I'm sure other campers wouldn't be very happy if skunks, raccoons, and even bears were invited into your campsite to have a little snack.
So when camping, if you're camping in a developed campground, make sure you use the fire pit provided. Now, in a dispersed or boondocking situation, when you select your camp, orient your camp to an existing fire ring that may have been there. You want to use the same fire ring that somebody else has used in the past, and maybe build it back up a little bit. And the reason why is we don't want to create a second or even third burn scar.
And now to talk about waste. You know, you need to get rid of it. You can either bury it or take it out with you. Hey, I've got an easy solution. Go to your local Home Depot, get a bucket. They have these wonderful potty lids at Walmart. Get a heavy-duty trash liner, and you've got yourself a portable potty, easy to take out. And they also have chemicals that you can put in the trash bag that help not make it so bad.
Thank you for watching the video today. You now are more aware of the impact you make when you're camping. What I'd like to do is I'd like to ask a favor of everybody. If you could go out and when you camp, you take out more garbage than you brought in. That means picking up from somebody before you. If you did that and then you shared this message with other campers, we'll all be in a much better place.
So if you like this video, give us a big thumbs up. We would also love to have you subscribe to our channel. And check out our Facebook group. It's Adventures Campfire Connection. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye-bye.